Alcohol. You know when it's good and you definitely know when it's bad. Today, a drink from a cheap bottle won't kill you. It just might burn a bit more and give you a worse headache. The same can't be said nearly 100 years ago during Prohibition, as tainted alcohol poisoned many with symptoms ranging from blindness to death. The cause? The wrong type of alcohol, methanol. Methanol differs from the alcohol we drink, ethanol, by just a handful of atoms, but it is much, much more toxic. As such, distillers like Chris Jude at Highwire Distilling just want that ethanol, which makes up the majority of a batch, but not all of it.
We are separating out some of the compounds that we don't want and hopefully concentrating and collecting the compounds that we do want.
To separate the good from the bad, distillers carefully watch different alcohols evaporate during the distillation process.
The very first things that come off we call the heads. That's going to be some of the more volatile, some of the lighter alcohols and compounds are going to see a little bit of methanol that might have been produced during the distillation, possibly some acetone. In a grain distillation, you don't really get very much of that. In fruit, you might.
Even a little isn't wanted in your drink, so those heads are cut off and disposed of in favor of what comes next as the temperature rises.
And once that is done, we start to move into the sweet spot of the run. That's called the hearts.
Composed of the good stuff, the ethanol and the aromatic compounds that give a spirit its flavor. These are collected and make their way into your drink, hopefully without any of the lighter alcohols from the start of the run, the heads, or the heavier alcohols at the end of the process.
We call that the tails portion of the run. And when we start getting up there, you start to get this like heavier, oily kind of flavor to it. I liken it to maybe like a wet dog or like an inner tube or something like that. Not really something you want to smell or drink very much of. So we will make the cut there before that happens and separate that off as tails.
A process they do very well, and it goes to show why distilling at home, such as making moonshine, is both highly illegal and extremely dangerous. For this week's Moment of Science, I'm Storm Team 2 meteorologist David Dixon.